I think at that point, it's just a business decision. Don't you look at them and be like, hey, with the money we're going to generate from having Kirsche here, sorry, I know we're not paying you. Sorry, we've worked together, but I got to do what's best for everybody who's going to attend, not just you. Big story. I think it's a big story. I think it's important. As our friend Kirsche has been banned from Off-Kai Expo. This is a VTuber event, and Kirsche has been banned. You would think that Kirsche would be in bad shape. It's tough stuff. The ban effectively blacklists Kirsche from participating in any official capacity, despite a claim from the official Off-Kai account that is not a blacklist, as she's free to attend or participate in other ways, but just not as a panel. So here we go. So there we go. And you may be asking yourself, what did she do? What did she do? Well, I have a video pulled up from Kirsche. It's a few minutes long, but she really explains the situation. And I think it's important to see kind of the interactions that she had, because she found out she was banned. And once again, this crazy Fox lady found out that she was banned. So the best possible solution is to reach out and find out why you were banned in a situation, which I think is a very logical thing. So let's take a few minutes and find out why Kirsche was banned from this expo here, Off-Kai Expo. This is straight from Kirsche.
So I messaged Off-Kai on Twitter, and as you can see, this is literally the first time I've ever spoken to them. I was like, hello, Off-Kai Expo people. I was slated to be on a panel for the upcoming Off-Kai. However, I just received notice today that I would apparently be too risky to have on said panel by the Off-Kai organizers, and I'm curious what the issue is. I appreciate you getting back to me. Thank. And the Off-Kai staff responded, hey, Kirsche, sorry about the back and forth. We usually ask to approve any co-panelist ahead of time, but this case fell through the cracks. We hope you understand that given the current tumultuous state of VTubing, we would like to avoid collaboration with somewhat polarizing creators such as yourself. And I was like, no, actually, I do not understand, as I personally have no issues getting sponsors, short or long term, with both products and games.
I love that she pushes back. She's like, no, I don't get it. Sorry, you son of a bitch. Like, why would you do, what's the issue? I'm totally brand safe. What's that, Flash?
I just laughed.
Oh.
Can we admire her new glow up for her avatar with the jiggle physics?
Yeah, strong jizzle.
I noticed that was the first thing I noticed. Like, hey, look, bouncy.
Before we started, somebody got upset that we dead costumed her.
I saw that.
I don't think they were really upset. It was just, whatever. We're dead costuming VTubers now. Fox one. All right, so here we go.
Do not promote hateful rhetoric, and I'm genuinely surprised that I would be blacklisted from your convention. It feels more like a single person who dislikes me has poisoned the well. You guys have hosted VTubers who have participated in harassment campaigns, which leaves me even more confused as to what part of my content would be a problem. And Off-Kai responded, I can assure you that no single person would have the ability to make such a call, and that this is also not a sponsor-related issue. Please understand that we are an all-volunteer-run event, and your name coming up made a number of our staff uncomfortable.
Bingo, right there. So some of the staff was uncomfortable by Kirsche being there, so she's not allowed to go. Like, we used to do this thing called pussy ass bitches. Back in the day, these are pussy ass bitches. That's what these people are. PABs, as if you will. And I guarantee all these people have PIBs with pronouns and bios as on their social media here. So some members of the staff felt uncomfortable. Let's go and continue here.
We value our team a lot and do not want to cause issues this close to the convention. That is why the executive team decided against having you participate in the panel. This is not a blacklisting. You are still free to attend or participate in other ways. I'm sorry, but this is the amount of information I'm able to share. When I read, we value the team, we don't want to cause issues this close to the convention, that's why they decided against having you participate. This made me think of the Niji Sanji language where they're like, yeah, this will be negligible.
Let's go!
This is not a blacklisting. You are still free to attend or participate in other ways. If I am not able to participate in panels, that is a blacklisting. If I can still come as a normal attendee by paying you, that just means I'm not banned from the convention. There's a difference between being blacklisted and being banned. And if I am not able to participate in panels because I make staff uncomfortable, why the hell would I want to give you my money to show up? As a
all I feel very valid points. Dr. Richard, you attend, you go to a lot of conventions. You
Mhm.
love to cosplay. As an attendee who goes to a lot of conventions and cosplays and look spectacular when you do. Have you ever
you.
felt, I don't know, whenever you see somebody there at an event, maybe a speaker, somebody doing a panel, have you ever felt threatened or upset that they were there? And if you have, what was your reaction?
Well, I've never felt that way because I'm not a PAB.
Mm-hmm.
So if there's someone I don't like or whose opinions I don't want to listen to, you know what I do? I just don't go to their panel.
Shit.
Ooh.
That's not
Or if
hard.
it's someone
Just-
doing a sign, someone doing a signing out in the open, I don't want to get, I don't want to get in line for them and get something signed. I don't get in their line. I walk right by. Conventions are so busy that even a staff member who's uncomfortable with her doesn't have to be doing the tech for her panel. They can do tech for other people's
They
panels.
could switch with somebody. Do
Yeah.
something else.
Well, I'll tell you this, as pointed out here, isn't this convention entirely virtual? So that's the thing about this is a virtual event. Like Kirsche doesn't exactly show up. She's not like walking around the convention. She does exactly what she does on her streams and when she appears on our show and when she appears in other people's shows. She turns on her camera and she speaks, and that is her appearance at the convention. And so like she's not actually there to threaten anybody, right? And they go in a little bit deeper on this and with her response.
It's way worse. It's very amusing. So I say, I think if people are accusing me of making them uncomfortable, I have a right to know what I have said or done to cause that, especially if it is affecting my ability to participate in panels and having an effect on my friends as well. Again, you have platformed VTubers who actively participated in harassment, something I have never done. So I do not understand the issue with my presence. Also, to say that this isn't a blacklisting is disingenuous. You're telling me I'm not allowed to participate in panels, which is a blacklisting. I haven't heard back from you guys today, so as you can see, there's a jump in a date. It's been a day. Haven't heard back from you guys today, and I would like to be able to rectify this privately if possible. However, if left no other option, I will be speaking about this publicly. And then someone else responded that says, hello, this is Lysander. I'm the director of this year's Off-Kai. And if you're open to it, I'd like to talk about it more in depth. I'll try to give you as much information as I can about it, but as you may guess, it's complicated. As I go into the DMs that I had with the director of Off-Kai, I want to preface anything else said with please do not bother the Off-Kai staff. Please do not do anything that would further make their claims seem real when they say that they are uncomfortable. I'm really sorry for interrupting.
Skip ahead real quick. So right here, I'll just kind of TLDR this instead of watching the entire video, which we could do, but we're not going to. But the organizers, like right here, it's really, this gets exactly to the point here. So we have members on the staff who are fans of you and your work, and other members who are not. I think it's fair to say you are a bit controversial with a lot of your takes, especially for a staff largely based in California.
There it goes.
So yes, I think we circled it up right there. So
What's up
they
with you
did bring,
Californians, man?
yeah. Well, Kirsche did post the exact things that they were offended by, and mostly, it's her talking about things that she was, her just jokes that she made that these people found offensive, and some of them have as few as like 2 likes on them. But so people are going through and they're searching her profile for words like pronouns or whatever, looking for things to be offended by during this. And that's kind of the name of the game with a lot of this stuff is people are just searching for everything. But the blowback hasn't just been on in a situation like this where you see people banned, and we before the show, Blabs and I were talking about it, and I said this is no different than if Rachel was to get banned, right, from a convention for saying something, or Kara or Des who got pulled from performing at an event, right? She got canceled. This is no different. This comes back to somebody said something. So people were so soft. They were Charmin, and they went in and they were so offended that they said, "Hey, I don't want her here because she's going to violate my safe space." Now, people have pushed back and you see this is a VTuber who said, "Hi, I'm supposed to be at your con for a meet and greet on behalf of a third-party vendor. I'm really disappointed that Kirsche has been blacklisted. Unfortunately, unless the blacklist is removed, she is allowed to participate in the panel. I will not be attending." So people are doing good when it comes to that.
Mhm.
And Rev, who we've talked about on the show several times, who I'd love to have on the show sometimes, says, "Hello, official or off Kai. I'm supposed to be doing a meet and greet for my community at your convention. I'm going to be honest. I was looking forward to this event, but I don't care about my slot at all if you're going to be blacklisting people like Kirsche. If you're going to blacklist her, you might as well blacklist me too. I won't be supporting official Kai Expo in any way until the situation is handled fairly. Talking about this more in a video tomorrow." So, and I think that's the way to respond to this, is the idea that, like, hey, look, I'm not down to this. If you're going to be blacklisting people, I'm not going to attend either. I don't know. Flash, what are your thoughts on all this? Like, this is not the first time we've seen people removed from conventions for not towing the company line or potentially offending people. Just your overall thoughts on this, Flash.
I think it's stupid because you're just turning away money. The amount of people that show up for these, like, to support people. I mean, we've seen, look at Gina Carano. She goes to these conventions and she's got a line for miles. You saw it with, I don't know if you're aware of the whole Vic Mignogna thing that happened. They were banning him, and wherever he goes, he has giant lines. It's like you're just turning down money for a small group of people that don't even really support anything. Did you see those protesters for Gina? Like, she was at a Toronto
Oh, yeah, there was
convention.
like 5 of them in Vancouver.
There's like 5 of them.
Right.
I mean, the only people that are mad are just people on social media. Well, in this case, there's apparently people working on the thing that are uncomfortable. So 3 people, it's ridiculous.
Well, they
you're
go further.
disappointing thousands of people for 3 people.
Right. And their response to that is, we don't have a whole lot of staff. They're not paid. We don't pay our staff anything. And if they're upset, then we don't have people to run this event. Right. And I think at that point, it's just a business decision. Don't you look at them and be like, hey, with the money we're going to generate from having Kirsche here, sorry, I know we're not paying you. Sorry, we've worked together, but I got to do what's best for everybody who's going to attend, not just you. And I think that's a great metaphor for everything that's happening is you see these people who are complaining, who are whining, who are like, oh, I'm so offended by Kirsche. And then they get their way. But the best way to push back is to do exactly what these other VTubers are saying, is like, hey, I will not attend. Rev said, I will not attend if you're gonna be doing this, because this is still a small event. This event's only a couple of years old. And their logic was, as we grow, we'll be able to withstand such pressure. It's like, yes, but you're setting a precedent right now that anytime there's any sort of pushback or any sort of uncomfortable feelings, then there's going to be issues. And it's okay, because remember that time that Kirsche made people uncomfortable? Well, we didn't let her come. And I think that's the issue, is that you're setting a precedent very early on. Rachel, do you have any closing thoughts on that before we?
Yeah, I think it's just a couple things. It's crazy that people will get so offended that they will go, like you said, digging into someone's profile with these keywords to try to look to be more offended. It's just the kind of faux research you're doing to try and be offended, to try to justify your out of place feelings, is insanity to me. But the other thing I was thinking of, yes, I think it's a good thing that these other VTubers are stepping up and saying, no, this is wrong. I'm not going to be there. I also think it'd be interesting if some of the volunteers there also said, you know what, if you're going to be doing this, I don't want to work for this company. I don't want to volunteer for this con anymore. I think if some of the volunteers stepped up as well, it could help make a really big impact.
I think Savvy really, really nailed it here with this last tweet. She says, if you don't think a small number of people will obsessively comb through your tweets and try to ruin any appearance you have, they will, try to ruin any appearance you have, They will demand you be silenced because they cannot live in an open and free market of ideas. They will cry, kick, and scream if they don't get their way. Infantile behavior like that used to be treated as such. Now it's reinforced by those desperate to look, quote, morally right, despite it quite literally being antithesis to the concept of diversity. Instead of discussion, it calls for silence. Instead of, hey, you do you, it calls for silence. No more silence. Everyone should speak up. Everyone should no longer fear any of this. Don't give them that power, that vanity, and that pride, because in truth, there is nothing to fear. It's fine to disagree with someone, but you can do so in a respectful way. You can mute what you don't want to see. You can see less of thanks to Twitter curation. But if someone else's ideas really ruin your day to the point of infantile behavior where you can't function, it might be time to get off the internet for a little while and have some lavender tea.
Well said.
Yes, that is what Savvy does. Savvy nails it in the most eloquent of ways. So